Good morning, Alcove. It is Saturday morning, and I am trying something new. We're actually going to have a little just coffee and chit chat. I'm going to try this out for a couple Saturdays, see if I like it. I'm going to get up early on Saturday morning. I am going to make myself a cup of coffee, and this show will last as long as either I have a list of topics to talk about or until my coffee is out. So I'm a notably terrible fast drinker of coffee, so who knows? We'll see how this goes. Basically, I'm going to be talking about a bunch of things that I don't think I can make a full episode out of, but I still wanted to talk about a little bit. And then just a couple little interesting things I've noticed throughout my week. And that's what Saturday morning coffee is. Who knows? Might change the title too. Not set on this. Truthfully, had the idea yesterday, liked it. Now I'm running with it. That's kind of the point of the show, right? Doing the creative things that I wanted to do. And I say creative, but I mean, how many other people have Saturday morning coffee shows? Moving on. Okay. First thing is Fallout fever. I was trying my hardest to avoid getting this Fallout fever that everybody seems to be getting after the Fallout show. Just because I got enough games going on, I know what it's like to get sucked into the pit that is Fallout video games. I know that if I go into the wasteland, I'm not coming back out. I made the decision to mention it to my best man, and then he was like, "Let's play Fallout 76 together." And I'm like, "Damn, okay." So now I'm sucked into it. But I gotta wait for some classes to end this summer before I can really sit down and play with it. But so I'm joining the crowd. I'm gonna be playing Fallout 76 soon with Eli, and then that's the best man, obviously, context clues. But I also really want to, if I'm doing this, I also really want to play Fallout 3. I truthfully don't know if I ever finished any Fallout game, but I have probably put in hundreds of hours into Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. Well, just Fallout 3. Fallout New Vegas is a different thing. So all those hours, and I've never actually, I think, finished the main story of Fallout 3. It's a lot like Oblivion. I also have put hundreds and hundreds of hours in my lifetime into playing Oblivion, but I have never gotten more than halfway through the main storyline, and I don't know why. It's not like it's a bad story. I gotta take that drink. It's just that there's too much good side content, and that's the side, and that side content's where I'm going. So I'm gonna try Fallout 3, and I might try out Fallout New Vegas this winter or something when I've got the time for it. The problem with New Vegas for me, is that I played it right when it came out, and then I played the Casino DLC. Now, when I went and played that Casino DLC, I made the terrible young teenage self decision to accidentally overwrite all of my saves and save them all inside the hotel. And at the time, there was a glitch that the game would freeze every single time you went to end the DLC. So I had all my saves inside the DLC area, and for months I tried to leave, and it would just freeze. And so with all of my saves inside and no hope in sight, I was so frustrated about it that I ended up just never picking it back up. I until recently, I've never felt okay with picking up Fallout New Vegas again, because the devastation of all those hours put in just for the game to freeze right there. And that was I was actually really close to being done with that game. I'd done everything else. The Casino DLC was like the last thing I was going to do, and it just froze. And I've never been able to bring myself to come back. But, I'm hoping things are a little different. Lord knows Fallout 76 is way different, and Vegas has enough love that I'm sure I'm not going to run into something like that again. I'm excited though for Fallout 76 because the last time I played that, it was before any NPCs had ever been introduced, and I saw TikTok saying like, if you haven't played Fallout 76 since the beginning, there's like 13 or 17 major content updates, and that has brought so much to the Appalachia map. And so, first of all, I'm excited to see NPCs. I'm excited to see what new like events they have, and I just also I love playing games with Eli. But he's the best person I've ever played games with. It's just so much fun, and we just razz each other a bunch of times. Good old boys kind of thing. Anyways, I'm excited to play with him. I'm excited to get back into the Fallout universe. This show is doing wonders for Fallout. If you haven't had a chance to go check out like the Steam charts for how many people are playing Fallout and how many people are buying Fallout, it's crazy numbers. I think let's just look at it real quick. How much has the Fallout show caused purchases? It's a terrible way to Google it, but I'm sure somebody has it. Yeah, no, that was a terrible way to Google it. How many people bought Fallout games since the show? Let's see. That's way better. Well, here, top article: Fallout 4 jumps to #1 across Europe following TV show launch. I forgot to look this up. Anyways, I know it impacted them significantly recently, so that's amazing. Good news. And that's what happens when you have a quality show or movie for a video game. Imagine that. Halo, please take note. I have, at this point, given up on getting a good show. Just don't retcon things. And that's all you really... That's the kind of like, base layer. If you don't retcon, everything's good. Taking another drink. Okay. Steven Universe. I had never seen... Hello, sissy. My dog just wandered in. And she's staring at me in much needed attention. She's giving me that side eye. Like, it's like, I don't want to be straight up begging, but like, look at me, please. Tail's just a wagging every time she catches me looking at her, though. Okay, moving back. Steven Universe. I had never actually watched, given this show a chance. Back in the day when it was first coming out, and I still like kind of would have had access to being able to watch it. I never thought much of it. And then when I was living in Texas a few years back, my roommates watched it, and I caught a few episodes that way, and I was like, holy shit, this show is really good. So then, fast forward now, I was like, my fiance and I were sitting on the couch, and I was like, let's give the show a shot. Let's see. I wanted to watch this for a while. I think we both could like it. Immediately, we were both hooked. And now, having finished the first show and then watched the movie last night, actually, I am just blown away by the quality of this show. I am absolutely in love with it. And I cannot get enough of it. It is by far my favorite cartoon that I have ever seen in my life. And I will praise this show to absolutely anyone and everyone. I just want more content. I see that there's some some graphic novels. Maybe, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out the written book situation, but I'm not entirely sure just yet. But if there are any like good quality graphic novels, 100% I gotta get my hands on those. But I was doing some looking around. I wanted to find a card game, and or like a board game, something from Steven Universe, world. And I found a card game that went live on Kickstarter in 2020, and because of the pandemic, they never did a retail version. And they kind of I read some Reddit comments from some people on the team, and they kind of made it seem like they wanted to eventually try to do a retail sale or retail build for after the pandemic, but it never happened because that's 4 years ago. So I think it's safe to say that it's never coming, but I've thankfully found a few people that have actually uploaded scans of all their cards so that other people can also, print and play this game, because there's a very, very limited number of copies of this game that's really in existence. And I was seeing some of them sell on eBay for just insane prices. But of course, limited edition game like this, there's a lot of hardcore fans. Not surprised. But we're really disappointed. So I'm definitely going to participate in that print and play road. Taking another drink here. I'm going to ramble too much and then not drink all this coffee. Okay. Anyways, I'm looking forward. We still need to watch Steven Universe Future. That's next. And I know it's a mini series, so I know we're going to finish it all too quickly. And then I'm going to be real bummed out about not having any more Steven Universe content. But I'll just join the legion of fans that are hoping for, one more movie or another revival of the series. But this show is so damn good, and the way it is able to communicate and talk about like trauma and LGBTQ and subjects and just everything to like a younger audience in a way that is digestible and in a way that both adults and kids are able to relate to. This is one hell of a Cartoon Network show. Also, one thing I noticed is like I think it's kind of funny. Like they're just so really open about the LGBTQ on a major network, Cartoon Network. Just shortly after Korra ended, and Korra is ending on Nickelodeon, with Korra and Asami like holding hands or however it ended. That was like a nod to them, having a relationship. That was like hugely controversial, and they had to fight it hard. So I just, I know they're different networks, but I found it really interesting that a 2-year difference was enough for that to be so much more okay on a major network. That being said, huge differences between those two. I know. Don't worry about it. I'm just saying it's a nice little nod that 2 years later things were so much more level-headed. Anyways, I unfortunately had it, spoiler alert for Steven Universe, I unfortunately had it spoiled to me about who Steven's mom really was, just right before we watched the episode. TikTok algorithm just got a hold of my interests and then just destroyed it for me. So that was a big bummer. But this show also was just so good at giving you plot twists. Man, I love this show. Okay. That's enough Steven Universe. Watcher Entertainment. I've never heard of these guys before this blow up this week. But it seems to me, after listening to a whole lot of different fans on TikTok talk about it, there seems to be just a lot of misinformation about what's happening, what videos are getting removed or not removed, and how this their new system's going to work. Regardless of this misinformation, it seems to me that their biggest problem was a lot of their fans didn't even realize they had a Patreon. So if they were concerned about money, I don't understand why they just didn't advertise their Patreon a little bit more and be a little bit more open about that. Or make a new show with expectations that they were going to be sponsors for that one. Because I know they wanted to avoid sponsors and stuff, but we live in 2024, and this is also why I don't think that their paywall is going to work. All the fans who take in this kind of content, we're all broke. How are we going to pay another $5 to $6 for another company to make 1 or 2 shows? From what it seems like. I've been told that they only put out 1 video a week. So I'm like, how are you going to justify $5 to $6 a month for one episode a week? It doesn't really make any sense. But I'm seeing a lot of comparisons with Dropout and Rooster Teeth. Let me take another drink here. That's some quality audio content for you. And I don't really like that because Dropout and Rooster Teeth both put out way more content and that was Sissy flapping her ears. And they put out way more content and their teams are way larger and they've got different groups doing different content. And so I don't think that's a fair comparison. I think that's a little bit of a stretch because I think for those, it makes sense to do that, $6 a month to get your content. Hey, why are you whining? And so I don't see this going very well for them, and neither does anyone on TikTok. It seems like usually I have a pretty good spectrum of opinions about certain situations that come up on my TikTok. I'm seeing nothing positive. I'm seeing nothing. No one arguing in favor. The closest I saw was someone who was like, "Oh, let's clear some misinformation. Here's what this report is actually saying." So I'm going to be watching this because I'm really interested because I really don't see how they're going to get more money this way, considering like this is upsetting a lot of fans, and it seems like they had an obvious solution, and they just didn't see it or didn't want to go for it for whatever reason. Man, like I said, we're going through a national here in the US. We're going through a national housing and cost of living crisis already. Fans don't have another $6 a month or $60 a year to drop on another streaming service. It just doesn't work out anymore. It sucks, but the best method right now is advertisements and sponsors. Like that's kind of just where the entertainment, like this independent or small production company financing is going to have to come from for a while until we can actually build a new system. But a paywall with $6 a month, just I don't think that's going to work out because there's too many independent content creators that we all already want to support, but it's hard enough to shell out any money for them. And then I recently heard that in the content creation sphere that merch doesn't sell. And I heard that from like a content creator, like a well-known content creator business person. And I would trust their opinion on this. But that's kind of crazy to me because I feel like people love buying merch. And I see merch in a lot of places. And even I buy merch. And I, have not been trying to spend a lot of money in the last couple of years. So I don't know if merch doesn't sell well. I guess that's not a viable funding option either. But I don't know. Moving on though, I'm almost done with Mass Effect 2, which means the Mass Effect 2 Game Journal episode can come out. I'm just not super impressed with how this game is turning out. The DLC has been a little lackluster for me. And it doesn't seem like I'm not getting any party banter, while we're like going around on missions. I think it's kind of because we're not driving around the Mako like we did in the first one. We don't need to put out party banter. And that's bumming me out. I really, really enjoyed party banter. And so for Mass Effect 2 to almost kind of completely cut that out, it feels like something's missing from this game. Let me take a drink. Okay. And so I don't know. Everyone seemed when I'm looking around on like YouTube and stuff, like doing some prep work for the Game Journal episode, everyone seems to say that Mass Effect 2 is their favorite game. I don't know how. That doesn't make any sense to me. But but it is. So I don't get it. I do love the, Ocean's 13 pulling together the best of the best for putting this crew together. That I really enjoy. But the characters just seem so restricted. Like they don't have enough dialogue going on, and that's I think that's one of my biggest things that's bumming me out about this game. Yeah, that's what I have to say. I'll have a Mass Effect 2 Game Journal episode out, maybe in the next 2 or 3 weeks. It just depends. I've had a real backlog of homework, and it's kind of killing me. So I'm trying to get through that and get ahead just enough a little bit. And I had a player drop from the D&D group, so now I'm like frantically trying to adjust all of the encounters and stuff to make it ready. So I got to get through these things before I can really put in as enough time, because with these Mass Effect games, just like the Fallout games, why I didn't want to play it, I cannot stop myself from doing absolutely everything because God forbid I miss any content whatsoever. So that's what's holding me back. But I think I'm like 2/3 or maybe 3/4 done. So expect it soon, hopefully. For sure. Let me take another drink. Okay. I wanted to jump back to Rooster Teeth real quick, actually. Because their final stream was announced for April 26th at 2 p.m. And I could not be more bummed about it. And so then I decided to check their schedule this morning to see what they were doing before then. And it kind of seems like they're just everything else is done on Monday, 2 days after this podcast. At noon will be the final Rooster Teeth podcast stream, and that looks like that's the last thing they have scheduled. But I also noticed in here on Monday that they're also doing a video from their conspiracy show. Is the internet just AI and bots? Dead internet theory. And I'm mid planning a dead internet theory episode, just because I'm really interested in it. And it was going to be my first deep dive episode. But damn it, there were already enough videos on dead internet theory. And now Rooster Teeth's doing it. I don't think I can do it. I think I'll have to cancel this one or come back to it like maybe next year or something when enough time has passed that things are different or just like there's different things to talk about, because I'm not trying to copy. I'm not trying to put out something that's so close in time frame to them. So that's a big bummer because I had already done a lot of research and a lot of prep for that. So I don't know. I'll watch that and see if it's actually anything like what I wanted to talk about. And if it is, I'll abandon the episode for now. If it isn't, then I'll just like wait a little bit longer. Because I'm not trying to I'm not trying to get a comparison or anything or like a copy, because it's obvious that how big of a fan of Rooster Teeth I am. So I don't want it to come across like weird or whatever. Yeah. Okay. Oh, sissy. She is desperate for a little extra love. I'm petting her this whole time that we're talking, but it's just not enough for her. I know she doesn't need to go to the bathroom because I took her out right before. I think she wants to play. Okay, this is the final topic, and it's real short. Oh my God, if you're a homeowner, laugh out loud as if any of us are. I manage a fraternity house on University of Idaho campus, and there was a pipe that broke or at least was leaking pretty heavily. When those guys gave me a call, I ran over and checked it out. Water was coming through a light fixture. Big problem. I got the water shut off, got the plumbers in, working with insurance now. But they sent me the bill to fix everything, fix the pipe, and then put like the sinks and the backdrop back up and everything. And sanitizing and heating the room to like get rid of all the moisture in the air. That bill is $26,000. And I almost shit myself. I'm like, if we didn't have insurance, we'd be screwed, for one. For two, how the hell, I feel like it's gotta be a scam, you know? It's crazy because they're not even doing the drywall and stuff. Like, I'm having the undergrads put the drywall back up. But I don't know, man. I saw that $26,000. Couldn't believe it. My jaw dropped. I'm like, how is anyone supposed to do this? You know? But I guess everyone's required to have property insurance. So I guess that, you know, that's how homeowners do it. But blown away. I didn't even know what to think. I'm still at a loss for words, obviously. But what a nightmare. I couldn't imagine personally getting that bill. Scary. Anyways, that's the first Saturday morning coffee show. It was a little rambly at times, little like lost down trains of thought, but like I said, this is my first attempt at it. We'll see if I like it. We'll see if you like it. We can make a decision together. Thank you. Sissy didn't really seem to like it because she wanted my attention a little bit more than what I was giving her this morning. So I think I'm going to end it here because one, I'm out of topics, and two, I think Sissy wants to go play a little bit. So have a good weekend. Thanks for tuning in on this little alcove. Oh, almost forgot it. On this little alcove of my mind.